our friends, our family, our loved ones. And you may have a tip or two. Just as you expand your toolbox or your container, you will able to save them so you can share them in the moments when those moments emerges. My name is Lady J, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach. And don't forget to pick up our book, Self Care is Intentional. It's important, it is intentional because how we live life, taking care of ourselves is so important mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's important to move in a level of alignment so we can stay strong and we can walk in our power.
That's right.
Welcome to all our amazing guests tonight. Well, welcome to those of you watching us live and who's going to catch us on the replay. We love you all and we congratulate all of you for taking all the great bold moves that you're making. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now we're going to start off with each one of you going to introduce yourself to us and let us know just a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the audience. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes. Great and empowered women. Who want to go first?
I guess I will.
Okay.
I'm Michelle
That's
Ramos.
it.
I live in Northeast Ohio. I'm the founder of an organization called Don't Raise Statistics. And I like to think of myself as a cathartic catalyst. I like to go into broken systems and find what's not working and fix it. So that's me.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Nobody?
I'll go next. Good evening, ladies. My name is Tiona Ducray. I am, by trade, a physician recruiter, but I think more important, I am celebrating my 8th year as a pancreatic cancer survivor and advocate. And I'm really excited to be here with all of you this evening. So, Lady J and Lady K, thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here.
Welcome. Thank you.
I'll go next. Hi, everyone. I'm Danisha, and I'm one of the cannabis
I
chefs.
am the owner of Natural Health Hub.
What happened?
I guess we can't hear.
Hi, everyone. I'm Danisha. I am one of the cannabis chefs at Thank God It's Vegan.
Hi everyone, my name is Daneane. I'm an astrologer and I'm a psychological marketer at One Shot Made.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Who's next? Nay?
All right.
Hi everyone, I'm Nate Small.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Hi everyone, I'm Nate Smalls. I am the owner of Jade and Charles Beauty. I am a makeup artist, a mentor, and a proud mommy.
Welcome, Nate.
She forgot to say one thing. Nay?
I'm sorry. And
You're a veteran.
And I'm a retired veteran of the U.S.
cool.
Army.
We thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
Yvonne?
Right. That's right. Thank you for
Hey everyone. My name is Yvonne Cadore. I am a newborn care specialist, better known as NCS or baby nurse. I am the person you're going to hire for your daughter or your son, your granddaughter to come in and coach that individual or that new family how to take care of that newborn, and for the mother to help herself in recuperating to get enough sleep. to the daytime to take care of that child. And if there's other sibling in the house, it's something that I really love doing because I love kids. So this is Yvonne Cadore.
Welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Soul. I am a holistic healer. I love doing everything in that sense. We do retreats and a couple nice things: Reiki master, sound healing, sound bowl, sound baths, all that good stuff. And that's it. That's me.
All right. And I'm Crystal Dominguez. I am also co-owner with Soul of Natural Health Hub, and I'm a wellness coach and herbalist. Like she said, we do all kinds of things, Reiki. I do different things with wellness coaching, gut health, all different types of things with nutrition, herbs, you name it. So that's me.
Welcome to you both.
Well, hi, my name is Joy. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you, Joy.
Okay, hi, my name is Joy. I live in Teaneck, New Jersey. It's the first time I'm on a chat like this, so seems really fun. I am an entrepreneur for about 2 years now. I own my own business named Nature's Joy Essentials, all natural products for your hair and skin. Yeah, I'm a proud mom, I'll tell you that much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Did we hear from Crystal?
Yes. Crystal spoke.
Okay, so I think we cover everybody, right?
Yeah, I think so. We heard from the two sisters, the Johnsons. We heard
Yes.
from everyone. First of all, thank all of you for being here tonight. Thank you for saying yes. I guess Dr. Marcia's not here as yet.
No, not as yet. Yeah.
This is such an interesting discussion, and we value your time for being here with us and going to share space with us and enlighten us and enlighten the audience about how do we really and truly bounce back, dealing with setbacks and staying strong. How do we find a level of strength when things happen? You're in low place, you're in the valley. How do you really find that level of strength? What do you rely on in that moment to really pick you up and that you can stand again and be strong? Who want to start to lead with that? Lead with that question. Or you want to share a personal story, what you have been through, and what have you?
I would love to, if I may.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies, for having us and for actually bringing this discussion up. Say that definitely one of the most important things is to have a support system, right? Something important that you guys said was to have a support system in play. There will always be setbacks, in life, and that's okay. That's part of life. We just have to be resilient, right? Understand that we've been there before, see how to face it, never react, take the time to process, respond accordingly, and have that emotional balance, to where we can move forward with, of course, as women, we have emotions, certain things. There's also our nurturing side that kicks into play. But just know how to balance ourselves so we're not so overwhelmed, and know that it's okay to ask for help. I would love to say that as well. A lot of people forget that it's okay to ask for help. If you have a time when you feel set back or something's going on, like, look for community and what you
Yeah, he loves her.
That
He
is so
loves her.
important
Yeah.
Yeah.
that Saul have highlighted support system, community. How do you move forward?
Exactly.
Because there, you one would get overwhelmed depend on what the situation might be.
Mhm.
You feel overwhelmed. Who do you have in your corner that's going to
Mhm.
hold you, keep you steady? What are you rely on to really help you to really bounce back? And as she rightfully mentioned, ask for help. And we asked her, but I think it was last round I heard that say, ask for help not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong.
Mhm.
And don't stop until you get it.
Can
Yeah, go right ahead.
I kind of just like want to piggyback on with what Saul was saying about how, asking for the help and everything. And for myself with the setbacks, it was a matter of not knowing where to find the help that I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And, just the right support systems just weren't available. So throughout my journey, one thing that I have learned is that there's never going to be a plan B. It's not, it's A through Z. It's plan A is keeping my faith. Like it doesn't moving forward. There ain't no plan B and C. I just had faith that this journey I'm on and the purpose I'm, going for. I just have the faith that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I try to not go into anything with the expectation because then I can't have a disappointment. So if I'm not expecting anything, then all the great things that come about are going to be even more amazing. And then
Right.
the bad things, well, I was never expecting them anyway, so I can just deal with them as they come in the moment. And that's kind of how I just, A through Z is just, it's the faith. Like there's no backup.
Yeah.
Daneane?
Yes, so I would like to speak about when I had a big health setback. I actually am very much a person who is to myself. And when I had my biggest setback with my health, I actually had to rely more on my family and specifically on my siblings. And I had to understand that even though what I was going through was something that I was going through, that there's other people who have the same experience, have been through the same thing. And even though it might feel like they might not understand, you have to give people the space for them to take action and show you. So when you feel like you don't have answers, you should find support systems that do have those same experiences or do know other resources that can help you because they are out there and you should find help until you have it. And for me, it was my siblings and it was my family and having that support at that time because I'm a very independent person and I do a lot of things on my own. So being able to actually grow up and have something like that happen to me and then be a person who can tell them what's going on and they support me during that time, during that transition and change was very important for me. And they have supported me during this journey and really being able to take those small steps that you do have to take, sometimes with understanding yourself again and understanding how you work again because you are different after that time.
Wow. Thank you. Tanisha, you
I
want?
would like to piggyback with that,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just like to say that it's important that we give ourselves grace with
Oh,
setbacks
yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
inevitable with every point in life that we hit, we're gonna hit a different type of obstacle, right? So you're
Mm.
making progress. And every time you're making progress, you're hitting a new level, but you're not looking at, okay, this is a new type of obstacle. You have to give
Mm.
yourself that grace to be able to deal with it. And sometimes you don't have all the answers. sometimes you do need those other people and those support systems to kind of help you put the pieces of the puzzle together, because that helps with now that you had the experience. And sometimes other people's understanding and grace helps you in this time, because even though we give grace to others, sometimes we forget to give it to ourselves, and that's where the
That's
support
right.
system comes
That's
True.
so
in.
true.
True.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's so true.
Mhm.
Wow.
Tiona?
So I just want everyone
Oh,
to remind themselves to give themselves grace, you know?
Yeah. Deanne, that is such an important part of the equation when we talk about our self-care, and how we care for ourselves is as important as how we care for other people. So thank you for sharing that piece of it. I think as far as my own personal setbacks, there's always setbacks in life. Sometimes they're small things. Sometimes it's in the
Mhm.
middle of the day, I can't figure something out. And then sometimes they're major things, like a major health crisis. In my case, getting a pancreatic cancer diagnosis at the age of 41 was definitely not something that I planned for. And I can say that everybody that I know that has cancer, we all say the same thing. That was a really big monkey wrench in our day. Um, I think that when we're thinking about setbacks, one of the things that I was told very early on in my cancer journey was, one, that I'm a survivor from the very first day that I get diagnosed, and beat the disease every day after that. So I do tell a lot of people that when you're facing major health challenges, the end game is not about getting to a certain place. It's every day getting up and feeling even just a little bit better than you did the day before. So I think when we think about our personal lives, and whether we're facing challenges at work, with our family, with our health, or just in some of our own goals, we have to keep inching forward. And I heard this recently. Somebody said, don't forget, there's 12 inches in a foot. So even if you're just inching along, those inches eventually get you a foot. And I think that's something for us to remember as we're going along, that
Mhm.
even a little bit of progress is still progress. And we can be proud
Right.
of
Yeah.
and give ourselves the grace to know that we will eventually get there. We don't have to get
That's
there
right.
right now. So we still have a little bit of time in 2024. That's okay. We still have 2025. We can still reach our
Mhm.
goals.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Thank you so much for that share. Wow.
Mhm.
Yvonne?
Hi. Okay,
Mhm.
what I want to share with us tonight, in life, for me, what I had to come to terms with is that in life there are challenges. I remember at one point of my life I was saying, okay, there are not supposed to be any challenges. I think I was supposed to go through life, everything on a smooth platter. As to whether with family, your career, and whatever. This is what I thought. But I came to a place in my life, and I had to realize, okay, accept it. Yvonne, there are challenges in life, there are things that you're going to go through in life, but it's how you deal with it. And I also want to thank God. I always say I want to give God all the glory for my life, because I have Him in my life. I have a relationship with Him, and I have to keep like praying and seeking the face of God. And I believe by I doing that, that is what gave me that strength, that inner strength, that peace, that courage to keep going on. That, like, sometimes, when I feel like I want to give up, you hear this still small voice inside of you saying, what if you give up now, you just let go of everything, and this is where, this your breakthrough gonna come or whatever. So I want to
Mhm.
thank God for giving me that strength to keep going, and eventually you start to see things start to work out. Things start to work out. It may not be like big, chunks of stuff, but things started to come into place, and I started to get to understand life much better now. Yes, I will go through stuff, but I don't have to stay there. I don't have to like stay down. And through it all, I gain so much of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and even to deal with me, I end up learning me, my setback, my weakness, my strength. And in my weaknesses is where I started to build on my weaknesses. Until today, I always say I am in a beautiful place now. That I love, and I always share with people, this is what you need to do, but it's all gonna work out. So I'm saying tonight, in spite of I had us to learn in life, there's challenges, but the challenges didn't come to kill me or to for me to stay there. I had to seek a way to get up and to rise up again, and I did that by holding on to the grace of God and with my inner strength. And I'm looking around, because even so sometimes we may say, okay, you're going to look for community, you're going to look for this, or something. In my case, I didn't have anyone to say, okay, I could really like depend on. I had to do it on myself, on my faith. You understand? And I really thank God for that.
Mm.
Beautiful share.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because sometimes there might not be no one. So who then you turn to? You, yourself, your inner strength, your
Yeah.
lean into your inner wisdom, your faith, whatever that holds you, whatever is the level of communication with yourself, you have to hone in on that and lean in and let that guide you. Let that be your guiding principle to move you forward to whatever challenges you might be dealing with at that moment.
Yeah. That's right.
Crystal?
I feel like the challenges in my life that I have faced have shown me to enjoy the journey. Because it looks like a setback, but it's really not. We're exactly where we need to be right now in this time and place. And there might be something that we need to learn, so we can, maybe something that we're going to face in the future. It's preparing us, you know what I mean? So just really enjoy the journey and be present in the moment, and stop resisting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because
So no, I was just gonna say expand a little bit. Sorry, I was gonna ask you expand a little bit when you say the resistance. Like, how do we really? Because when we going through, we keep resisting. What should we do in that moment?
you know, take time for yourself, actually. Like I said, be present in the moment. If we're overwhelmed, we need to go ground. If we have so many thoughts going through our head, we need to meditate, and let it be, and let God, surrender. It's hard to do that sometimes because we want to be in control of everything, but really, surrendering and when you let go is when you actually receive.
That's right.
Beautiful.
So I think that's like, yeah, just surrendering, stop resisting, because when you resist, you start getting stagnant, and you start wondering, like, okay, why is this not going as fast as I like it to go? Well, we're just not surrendering, we're not letting go, and we're just not surrendering to what is right now, and just keep taking action, keep going forward.
Wow, that is such a great share. And just gonna jump back a little bit to Tiana. What kept you going? What kept you? How where did your strength really come from to really be present, and even though you've learned what happened to you, or what was the news you got in a moment, what kept you?
That's a great question. I think what sustained me is the key is I had community.
Mm.
I had moved to Atlanta not long before getting diagnosed, but I happened to have an amazing community, and a lot of different resources and aspects of my life. So I had not only my family wasn't local in Atlanta, they were away in Texas, but my son was with me. My daughter was back home in New Mexico at the time, but through my son's football team and all the parents and the football players, he was only in high school at the time. I was surrounded by so many friends and so many people that came and did everything from grocery shopping to helping my kiddo get to football practice to taking me to chemo when I needed it. And I've often said that the irony is with cancer is everybody comes together when we all know somebody. Every cancer has touched
Right.
just about everybody's life. If it's not your life personally, it's somebody that you know. So
Right.
people intuitively come together and they draw into you. If we did that in regular life without the need of some major traumatic illness, if we surrounded ourselves with people, if we actively engaged to be community for others, I think people overall would be healthier. And I think they would have monumentally more hope as they face challenges and crises, whether they're small setbacks or major life altering setbacks. And I think that is one of the biggest keys to thriving in life in general is having community.
Mm.
Thank you
guys
so much
finally
for
hear me
sharing
now?
that.
Mhm.
That's powerful.
Or am I still having technical difficulties?
No,
So
we can hear you, so
Okay, I'm sorry.
she's still having some difficulties, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, Tiona, that was very, very powerful because I think it's always amazing when we see and we witness the gathering of people just coming together and just pouring on us in the moment that we might be experiencing or going through something. And that is what changes the world and make it such a better place in those situations because we are experiencing humanity and the love and the care and the grace and the compassion in that moment.
Absolutely. And I think community can look a lot of different ways. We're in community tonight with one another.
Yes.
And we're building community outside of this, the people that are on this call, we're broadcasting this out, and that is building community for other people as we
That's
sit
right.
here and talk about how to encourage one another, give ourselves grace. That is community as well.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Mhm.
And Michelle, when you spoke about your strength and where you got that from, the same question we're going to ask you. How did you move through that and to be able to find the level of strength and to stay solid and to stay steady, even though sometimes you've experienced moments that you feel like giving up, moments that you felt sad. What held you? I know you spoke about faith, but can you deepen a little bit on that?
I was actually sitting here making some notes. So like I think that the biggest setback that I've ever faced thus far in life, it was like realizing that I didn't know who Michelle was.
Mm,
And so for me, like it's been having to learn how to trust myself. Like who am I? Like, not who am I because of decisions made for me or circumstances out of my, like so. And then along that, it was having to accept that this journey doesn't have a destination. So what I was thinking was setbacks was merely just part of the process because what am I trying to get to besides just being better than the person I was yesterday? So I think that it took a lot to like find my voice that was authentic to who I am and what I'm experiencing. Because a lot of the times I would find myself in positions where I was being told what I should be doing or how I should be feeling or where I should be going. But heaven forbid you say why or no, but then you got to find that courage to still stand strong. Like, this isn't right. I don't, and ultimately for me, when I had to realize that I did not know who I was and I wanted to know who I was, that was when I really think I began changing. Like, I live a life now where I can tell you 100% without doubt, I do not cast judgment. What you feel, you are fully valid for. I do not have to agree with it. We can agree to disagree. But how can I invalidate somebody feeling when I don't want my own invalidated? You know, like I'll say I don't even agree with my little 12-year-old daughter, but that's okay. That's how she feels. Who am I to tell her she's wrong? I think when you come to a place when you can like stand true to who you are, and you know like that you are, you know, this is it, then the setbacks really aren't, they're not setbacks. They're just moments to learn a little bit more about who you are intimately or deeply, or take you're coming out of your, for me setbacks are more like coming out of my comfort zone or being pushed into something that I'm unfamiliar with, if that helps at all.
Yes.
Cool.
Saul?
I'm sorry for all my technical difficulties today, guys.
It's okay.
Don't worry about it.
But I wanted to say on what Diana has said, you know, beautiful community. You know, I think that a lot of it, I know that in my darkest moments, I would isolate. I'm the strong one in my group. I've always been. People always turn to me for answers, and it's difficult when you're the one that needs help, right? So I would totally just go isolate. I would get away from the world and try to figure it out myself. And in a lot of those times, either, I mean, it was harming, right? If I think about when I was young, unfortunately, me not knowing how to get help helped me turn to the streets, right? Getting out of that, I go through my journey. I realized when I got into my DV relationship, I didn't want to ask for help. Nobody understood, right? So boom, I isolated again. I got into a car accident, fractured my neck and my back, ended up in a wheelchair. It took me 6 years to walk again. Through that fight, I have no pictures because I did not want to recollect those moments. I just knew that I could not be 27 years old and not be able to walk again. So I'm not saying be like that, right? Don't go inside your head. That's what I'm saying is there's so many people out here that we can turn to. Sometimes we don't realize we can. And in those moments that I see that I was at the darkest moment, I would always get away from the world. And what has helped me, besides meditation, that you guys know I always say save my life, but one of the things that has really helped me come out and heal, honestly, to the depth that I've been able to do so now, is reaching out to community, you know, having that community to turn to, looking for the help that I'm seeking, right? And not being scared to ask for it. And understanding that we're all going through something, every single one of us. We all have a story, we've all gone through something rough, and that is light at the end of that tunnel. Whatever the reason is that we're going through it, it's either a lesson that we're not learning, right? If we keep going through the same thing, it's a cycle that we're not learning. We gotta, you know, reflect and see what it is, or understand what the message is that we're going through. And sometimes, please understand that sometimes we go through something, if we're with somebody else, right? Either a partner or somebody that's with us, we may be doing something with them, and the lesson may not even be for you, it may be for them. Just so you know, sorry for the heartache along the way, but just keep that in mind as well. But all I'm saying is during those times of your darkest moments, look for those with light, because let them shine their light on you. Let them help you. You know, stand on the shoulders of those that came before you. Know how to get back and come back. And don't ever be scared to ask for help. Because I know that, like I said, guys, it's been a tremendous thing for me, being able to reach out to those that can help you. Even in business, it doesn't matter where your setback is. Professionally, get a business coach. Health-wise, get a gut coach. You know, you're going through, you know, whatever it is that you're going through, seek the help that you need in that field, right? You need energy help, come to me. You know, things like that.
You're right. You're right.
You know, listening listening to all of these stories, you know, what really comes to mind is that we are on a journey here, and sometimes we make pit stops, and the pit stops that we make sometimes is challenges that we go through. And these stops that we make, we gather so much information from these stops. It all depends on how we look at when we stop. It's all depends on how we look at the situations that we're in when we make this stop, you know, because a lot of times, a lot of things are out of our control. We cannot control it, you know, and the more we fight to control, is the more frustrated we become. Sometimes we just got to take our hands off of things and just allow things to unfold as they should. But many times, because we fight, we end up getting resistance. And because of the resistance, we become frustrated. Many times, we are looking at things on a human level, but a lot of times, things are happening on another level. And it's allowing us to understand more and it helping us, excuse me, helping us to understand more about ourselves. These stops that we make along our journey called life is taking us in depth to understand more about ourselves. Because when you walk into a situation, to a challenge, when you come out, you're not the same. You will never be the same person that walked into that situation. When you come out from that situation or that challenge or that experience, you have so many wisdom, so many knowledge that you can share with someone else that is going through something similar to what you went through. So you can clearly see that when we go through these situations, these challenges, these experiences, it's to set us up for someone else along our journey that we can help to understand the situation. So that is why when we're going through these situations, we need to really take a look at it differently. Because when we start to look at it differently, we understand certain things differently. And as I said before, a lot of things is not in our control. We cannot control certain things. And we really got to be aware of what is happening at the moment. And as my opening statement, I said, a lot of times we have to come to that place of acceptance because many times we are running away from accepting the situation. We got to come to that place of acceptance and say to ourselves, you know what? I'm in this situation right now. Let me reflect on it. Let me see who can help me in this situation that I'm going through. That is where the community comes in. Reach out and get the help and the support that you need. And another thing too that coming to mind here is that you gotta get the right kind of people to rally around you. You don't want people to rally around you with the energies that is not good for you. You want people to be authentic. You want people to be true towards what they are saying. Because a lot of time you're reaching out to the wrong kind of people. They don't have your interest at heart. They do not have your interest at heart. They don't mean what they say. A lot of times people would say, I got your back. But when situation comes, do that person really got your back? You understand what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
really got to know who you're surrounding yourself with. People need to be honest and need to be true. If your yes is yes, let your yes be yes. If you know you cannot do something for someone, do not promise people that you're gonna be there for them when you know you cannot be there for them.
Yeah.
Just be truthful with whatever you are saying to someone. Lady J?
Yeah. It everything you spoke about acceptance, you know, depending, reliant, and but also it starts with us as a person, we the individual, how much we love ourselves, the level
True.
of awareness that we have, which we, as Yvonne spoke about, our faith that what is our source, what is the source that we can reach beyond ourselves. Yes, community is important, but are we connected to something that is higher than ourselves, that in the moments when we don't have the community, when we don't have the friend, when we don't have our loved one, not that they might not be available, but they might not be available at the moment for us, because sometimes where the incident may happen to us, or to the experience is, they may not be there, so
Mm.
what else can we reach beyond ourselves on a supernatural level, whether it's God, whether it's Buddha, the extension, to move beyond that, and to hold on, and to harness that, and to pull from that, to anchor you and can keep you safe when you say, I know that even though my friends are not there, my family is not there, but I have something else that I can hold on to, that I can reach inside of me, that can anchor me, that I can pull from that can keep me strong.
Mhm.
And I know in my moments that I've been through my own situation, and I had to pull from my level of source. I have my sister, I have my family, but you have to have something else that you can pull from you, that can keep you there when those moments come to you and you said, what else do I have besides that?
Mm.
And I know in my situation, I've been through other situation, but one that I've been through recently, which I share more about in the upcoming book and stuff like that. But sisterhood is also important, family, and having my sister there with me in that situation I've been through, and my faith, family, and even pets, you know, can hold you. And I had to reach within me. I had to go deep within me and lean on that to keep me strong. So I'm sitting here talking to you tonight and to encourage you. Show yourself grace, show yourself love and compassion when there are moments that sometimes you don't even understand what's happening. Because you can feel, as we spoke about, you feel overwhelmed. How do I handle this? Who am I going to
Mm.
become after this? How do I
Oh.
bounce back? Because sometimes things get foggy, things get blurred up. Who am I beyond this moment? What would it look like when I emerge from this moment? When I got my strength back and I'm feeling good, my purpose can change. My purpose can change. Because when you go through something and you emerge out of that, you're looking at life from a different lens,
Yes. Yes.
and things become different.
Yes.
You're moving in a different trajectory.
Oh.
Who am I going to become after what you've been through? You've been in a low place. How do I stand strong again? What do I have that anchors me? That's why it's so important too, how we talk to ourselves and remind ourselves daily who we are, and tap in, because sometimes we are stronger than we think.
We
We're
are.
strong,
Mhm.
but that's why we got to go deep and reach. I also feel that the life you live before you go through something,
Yes.
great, always great to plant good seeds. Continue doing, as the event we had, we spoke about mindfulness and kindfulness.
Yeah.
Be kind to others, and don't be kind because of you expecting something.
True.
Oh.
Continue to practice kindness and mindfulness,
Mhm.
because when we practice kindful and mindfulness, I could say that about myself. I know Karen would say that too as well. When moments happen and situations happen, it don't have to be the people who you have been kind to
Absolutely.
be there for you, and that's okay. But
Mm.
you're going to move in the situation as long as you continue to live life is guaranteed. You're going to need mindfulness and kindfulness be given to you for whatever that may be. And people are going to show up. And you may be surprised. Huh, she's been kind to me. He's been kind to me. But what you have done is going to be moved forward and drop into you. Kindfulness and mindfulness is important. So as we might be bouncing back from our adversity, we might be bouncing back from a situation, we rising above them. People are going to be kind to us because we've been practicing that in the past. And stand strong on that. I'm handing over the floor to someone else. Passing the mic.
Okay. First I want to go back to Lady K when she was talking about being authentic. And I believe that is so important to be real, to be authentic as you, the individual, right? And when you know that you are real to yourself, to you, you search yourself and know that you're real, you are genuine, right? People gonna pick it up from you.
Yes.
People
True.
gonna sense that you are genuine.
Yes.
Yes.
People gonna sense that you are real. Well, for me, I don't like to deal with anything that is not real.
True.
You understand? I'm saying it, I hate it. You understand? So again, as Lady K said, if you say you're gonna say something, you're gonna do something for somebody, do it. Right? And even when you say you're gonna do that thing for that person, Tom, Dick, and Harry don't have to know.
Absolutely.
True.
They don't have to know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
True.
That is between you and that person and God.
Mhm.
Okay? So sometimes people have to do this. Yeah, this is what she's going through. This is what I go. No, that is not being real. That is not being authentic. You see this? Sometimes we talk too much.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
Our mouth put us in a lot of trouble. We feel like, okay, if I share this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, oh, she's this. No, that these things is not important. So we have to come to a place in life where our yea is yea and our nay is nay. Okay? So that when people see, they could say, yes, I know Yvonne, she's genuine. I know Karen. I know I can trust this person to bring them in my circle to share X, Y, and Z with them. And sometimes if you feel that, okay, you don't have that type of person in your circle, you're going to keep your mouth shut. And whatever your faith is, I say whether God or whoever you trust in, you keep pushing and you keep your faith.
Yeah.
So I wanted to touch on Karen with the authentication. And what's her name? Sister Ramos. She said something about knowing who you are. And I congratulate you. And I agree with what you say. Because to me, it is, listen, when you come to know who you are as an individual, as a woman, it's a powerful place for you to be in. I'm going to say it again. When you come to know who you are as a woman in life, in society, it's a powerful place to be in. You can say it's a part of your life that you have arrived.
Yeah.
Why? Because so many times we are shut down. Our voices are shut even from small when we are growing up through our appearance. They shut us down. In society, shut you down. People tend to want to make, what should I say? They want to a reason for you. They want to tell you what decisions to make. Whatever opinion they give you, you have to go with that opinion because you don't have a voice.
Right.
But when you get to know your worth, you get to know who you are. You sit down and you look within you and you say, no, this is not me. I don't have to accept this. I am not a dummy. I can speak.
Right.
You will begin to speak up. And everything she said, Ramos said, I was just like clapping because I know this is where I am now. Right? Because in society, and I will always say that if you do not know who you are, people are going to make you into whom you are not.
Right. That's so true.
And you have to come to a place in society, in life, you the individual, you got to know your worth. We got to know who we are. And you're going to walk in it. Right? Sometimes when you begin to walk in your worth and knowing who you are, you may offend some, but that is okay. you continue to live your truth in your strength, knowing your worth and who you are as a woman.
Thank
I
you
just
for
wanted
that.
to say this.
I want to
Preach on,
say,
sister. No,
when
no,
you
Yeah,
that
so
learn, when
I
you learn
encourage
your own
all
stuff,
I
it
believe
is
I encourage
so
all
hard.
sisters here tonight. You know,
that is
as
so
Tiona
true.
said, we are a community. So I
Yeah,
encourage you all tonight. If you all don't know us yet, get to know who you are. That strength. Search in you first.
hmm
That anywhere you're going, you walk into your room, you're going to know, okay, I belong in here.
exactly.
True.
No one don't have to,
True.
oh no, but no, I belong in here. Okay, so this is what I had to say.
Nay,
Yes, ma'am. I don't know how to come after that. She just shut it down. Thank you, Yvonne, for giving
Oh,
me
you're
such a hard
welcome.
job to follow up. Um, yes, all my sisters on this panel tonight has said such amazing things. One of the things that I want to touch is um, just like our title, setbacks and bounce backs and staying strong. For me, my saying is for every testimony, there is a test in life.
Yes.
My setback in the beginning of my testimony for my test in life was me going through a traumatic loss at the age of 26. And being so young, you know, in many communities, they don't really teach us or go in depth about traumas and just being in such a traumatic environment or how to deal with the tragedy. And at 26, I lost my mom and two children to a house fire. And for me, it was really hard to deal with. Um, like I said, it was the beginning of my test. And at that time, I was loved by all my family members, everybody, my sisters, my aunts, you know, we all came together as one. But being so young, how do you deal with the trauma so big, bigger than life? You know, for me, it was prayer. You know, right now, I know there is a God. From the age of 26 and I'm now 44, from this time, from then to now, God has led me through so many things in life. And He has shown me that it's okay to hurt, it's okay to go through pains, but it's how you keep your mental strong. You keep your mental strong through prayer. You know, we don't really talk about therapy, or we frown upon therapy, or we frown upon talking about things that happened to us. And for me, therapy has helped me out a lot. Therapy has allowed me to see how it is like to talk out my fears, my pains, my hurts. Um, and it's been a long journey. It's definitely been a long journey, and it's definitely been a setback. But what I can say about my bouncing back is I have a strong mental. I continued through life and I didn't give up. Yes, it's been so many times that I could have said, you know, I'm tired, I'm done. How can I fight this heaviness? But I remember God blessed me to have one son through all this time. And I knew as a mother, I had to stay strong for him. And I know I had to be a role model to show him it's okay. We're going through this pain and this tragedy together. But if I stay strong and guide him on this path of life, that's the ultimate comeback. And I've done that. He graduated high school. I continued to, you know, go through my military career, and I'm now retired. But even through there, being able to tell my story and mentor women on tragedy and pain and how to get through life has really helped me out with my own story and my own healing. And I'm not sure today how many people can actually say that they've been through so many tragedies or how in depth it's been. But family, surrounding yourself with beautiful women like y'all on the panel is something that we all need. You know, it's very hard at times for people to say, oh, I've been through this in life, because they don't know how people are going to look at them or how they're going to judge them, or they're going to feel like, oh, I'm sorry for you. No, I don't want pity. I want you to continue to make me strong, give me encouragement. And I know sometimes words, people don't know what words to say, but just sometimes listening is big enough. You know, I have my sisters here they're on the sidelines, but I kept telling them, like, I don't know what to talk about tonight. Do you think? And it was like, just let God lead your words and guide your words. And they have been, like I say, a big support system. And I have come across now friends that's going through the same thing, the loss of a parent or the loss of a child. And I've been able to, on each occasion, share my story and tell them, I'm there for you. I know at this time, you might not be ready to talk about it, but when you're ready to talk about it, maybe I can help you. Maybe something I can say to you will be encouraging enough to get you through that moment in life. Grief has many different aspects of it. Sometimes you get mad, sometimes you get angry, but it's okay. You can't keep it in, because the more and more that you keep it in, the more and more you stress yourself out. And that's something that we don't want to do. So with my staying strong and my bouncing back, I learned to turn my pain into passion. I start writing. I start just journaling about my pains, about things I've been through. When I get mad, I write down what I'm mad about. Putting it out on paper is something that can help you and make it very therapeutic for you. And like I said, having these wonderful women on this panel and having a sister circle and a strong support system will help you get through anything in life. And that's it.
Wow.
Thank you for being so vulnerable. And that's beautiful. And that takes a lot to be vulnerable to share what you did. And
It does. It does. A lot of women, they don't want to be vulnerable. But at times, you have to learn when to put that guard down in life. And I just feel like now, because we have such a huge platform, and like I said, at the mindfulness and kindfulness, event, God said it's now for you to come from behind the scenes and speak your truth. And by you speaking your truth will allow somebody else to speak their truth as well. Yes.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful.
May I?
Yes, Yvonne.
To I just wanted to add also, because I remember a couple of years ago. Can you listen? We all go through stuff. We all go through moments. We have shameful things that we go through, things that we don't even want anybody to know. And one time within my quiet moment, I remember God spoke to my heart and He's saying, whatever you have gone through, don't be ashamed. If people get a final or if they know, don't be ashamed. Because to the end of the day, everybody go through something or have something that they're dealing with. And ladies, sisters, would you believe that brought a peace into my heart up until today? That it doesn't matter what we may face, what we may go through, always remember, everybody in the world have something that they have gone through, dealing with, or will deal with in the future.
True.
And I use that to comfort me and to give me peace. And I'm just sharing this with you all to do the same thing. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed.
Sure.
They may find this out. So what if they find out?
Sure.
So what?
Sure. So true.
Let it go. You keep moving. Okay?
Keep moving. We all are humans.
That's right. We are.
We all are humans.
We will
And
come across setbacks. We will come across. We will hurt. We will cry at some times,
mhm,
right?
Of
As
course.
grown up here, we will cry. Things gonna hurt us so deep. We will cry.
mhm.
You know.
Joy?
Yeah.
Joy?
Joy?
She's not here.
Yes. Did you call me? Because I didn't hear.
Yeah. Your moment to share.
Sorry. Um. All right. My moment to share. Well, what am I going through now? It is a major setback for me. Now, I can't say major. I'm not gonna say major, but it's a minor setback for me. Getting back on my feet. Having a company and dealing with family members with illness and stuff like that, taking care of them at the same time, and dealing with family members and stuff. It's bit. How do I get by? Uh, like you guys said, you got to go with God. I pray just about every morning. I know I got to get up out of the bed and try to do my stretches and stuff like that, and try to keep going throughout the day. It's not easy, but I have a daughter to live for. So I can't let all this stuff just tear me down. I have a brother with schizophrenia who's been in the hospital about twice already. Uh, I have a mom with dementia. Well, I've taken care of both of them at the same time, and at that time, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't have anybody, and by the time I left with them, I just it got a little better with them, and then it got worse. So it was like right now we're at the stage where we're just taking care of my brother, and it's kind of hard. It's something that family's got to deal with, and but still, I think in the back of my mind, who's there for Joy. So I got to be here for myself, most of the time, because I don't reach out, to anybody. I'm here, in this room, or I'm working on my products and stuff like that. So it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Sometimes you want that person to talk to. You want to tell that person your issues and stuff, what you have on your mind, and what you want to work out and stuff like that. You don't want to stay in the same space, but you are trying to work things out. So, but not easy, but getting through it. This platform right here is freaking awesome. I gotta say, it's freaking awesome. This is nice. Going through trauma and stuff like that. We go through it. We try our best to get through it. We don't have that much. I don't have that much support right now where I'm at. But I have me. It starts and it ends with me. So I have to tell myself, Joy, keep loving yourself. Don't stop loving yourself. You can't. Because if you stop, then your mind would just go left. I have a daughter who's getting ready to graduate from college, and I know she needs me. So I have to be there for her. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But we'll get through it. And I thank you guys. I thank you guys for this platform. This is very interesting, listening to all of you guys, speak on the issues and the stuff that we normally go through in life. Is not easy being a woman.
No, it's not
Right.
It's not easy, It's not easy at all. So, I thank you guys. I really do. I thank you.
Well, we thank you, Joy, for being vulnerable and sharing for us. And just remember that this moment is just the beginning, because you're in this space, you're on this platform with us, and we all
Hmm.
just are your sisters together. So you're not alone right now. We all here with you. We all will be supporting you. So just
Hmm.
remember
Right.
that.
And moving
I thank you.
forward.
I thank you for that.
Yeah. We all are gonna be checking in and see how you're doing, and yeah.
And I'd like to say on this topic specifically, because it goes right back to what Lady J has said before, when you're dealing with these issues by yourself, right? A lot of the times when I was dealing with my trauma, you have to come up with
Yeah.
your own answers, right? And sometimes that can be defeating at the same time. So I just want to give you a couple tools that hopefully I can share with you that hopefully help you, but also help others, right? Because when we're in that time, we need to empower ourselves. Like, we need to feed ourselves. We need to fill our own cup. And I understand sometimes when you're alone. So I just want to know, like, mindset is super important, right? I would say that to anybody that's dealing with anything by themselves, like, to keep ourselves on the right mindset is the one thing. To keep ourselves motivated is key.
Yes.
So, like, whatever, you know, if even if you don't have somebody to turn to at the moment, please turn on some YouTube videos, motivate yourself, you know, in the morning, write affirmations down. I have a list of them. I would love to send them to you, you know, just so.
Oh, sure. Yes. I
Okay,
love
fantastic.
affirmations.
Good, good. I'll send them over to you. I want to get just something to give each other strength, because affirmations are so important. They're like little commands that we're telling ourselves, guys, this is I am. Like the I am, if you guys have heard how powerful that is, I am. You're owning
Yes,
it.
I
You're
am.
telling your brain, I am this. You know, so whatever you say after that is super important. You're embracing it. It's empowering. You know, standing in the super pose, the superpower pose. Have you guys heard of that trick, that hack yet?
Superpower pose.
So you do the superpower pose, which is the yes. Okay, ready, guys? Here we go. So it's
Okay.
like you standing like Wonder Woman, right? You pushing your chest out. You have your hands here. You're standing like at the top of the, you know, you're like, yay, it's me. Like I'm Wonder Woman
Yeah.
or Batman or Super, whatever you want to call it, right? Because it's good to everybody. Stand like that for 1 minute, guys. It's been scientifically proven to change your state of being, to feel more empowered, to be more embraced. Like, it's crazy how it'll change your state of being. Just do it for 1 minute. I don't care how corny you feel. I don't care how silly you feel, guys. These are hacks. They work. They've been scientifically proven. Do them. Go against
I
that brain
did it
that's
in the
telling you.
mirror.
Good.
Yeah.
I
Good
do
for
it in the
you.
mirror.
So, and affirm yourself. I am beautiful.
Yeah.
I am gorgeous. I am strong. I
Yes,
have
yes,
this.
yes.
Remind yourself, because sometimes we forget, and that's when we let those thoughts creep in, right? Where we start coming down. So just affirm that. Meditation, right? Meditation. Even though you have community around you, God is always with you, right? Whatever you believe your higher spirit to be, that is somebody you can always turn to no matter what, right? And now you got a group of sisters here that you always got to turn to as well. And that goes for everybody.
Yes.
Also, I want to add something too. Just observing our beautifully diverse panel here and not going and saying any women's ages. I think that it's important to recognize, though, that we are kind of all in this age category where we were raised behind walls that you don't talk about what's happening. Spilled milk happened, we
Yeah.
ain't crying about it. Don't you, you know? So I think that it's important to remember that we are the ones that are going to make these generational shifts for the futures to come and break the molds that we were raised in, because we were told how to be. Kids were seen, they were not heard. You know, we were told to silence our voice. We were told not to say
Yeah.
what was happening. And that's why it's like, for me, is, you know, my tagline is, you know, we got to recover loudly so that others don't suffer silently. We have to start being the ones to speak louder. We have to start showing people that our words and our actions align, and there is a way that this can be done in healthy ways to have positive outcomes. It isn't how, you know, extend grace to your parents, because they only did what they could for what they knew. And you can only do what you can do for what you know. But the moment you know better and you don't do better, then that is your disservice.
I agree, Michelle. That is definitely the problem. And I say all the time, like for my clients, because I house homeless veterans on a regular, my day to day, my 9 to 5. And I'm always telling them, I'm the voice for the voiceless. I'm the one that's going to fight for you. You don't have to fight. Let me do the battles. Let me choose. Let me choose your poison and let me do this. I got you. But like you said, when we were younger, we couldn't be up front. We couldn't talk. We couldn't be around the elders. But now it's a different society and a different world where our children are more boisterous. And they, some people look at us and be like, that kid is
You missed your voice.
Right. But now it's just like, this is the norm. We just have to show them it's okay to voice yourself and speak your truth, but just know how to do it. You
Right.
can, I say it all the time, I can be mean, but I can nice nasty you real quick. I could say what I have to say in a
Mm.
nice way without being nasty.
It's not what you
So,
say, it's how you say it.
exactly.
True.
Exactly. And that,
Yeah, how you say it.
yeah.
You know, Michelle, I have to say really quickly because I've heard so much on this call tonight, and I'm so grateful just to be in this space with everybody. And there's several jewels that you've dropped in here, but the thing that you said about recovering loudly so others don't have to suffer silently,
Right.
that just hit real different. I have to tell you because like
Mm-hmm.
we all come from this, or at least most of us on the call come from a generation where you don't put your business on the street. You better just put your big girl pants on and get on down the road with it. And that's something that I've heard. I turned 50 this year, and for 25,
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
that was a big one.
You look
That was a big
amazing.
one. I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I did. I'm not embarrassed to say that. But for 25 years, a lot of the advocacy work and things that I do is around the cancer space. But the other part of my life journey and setback was dealing with this and being diagnosed right after having my son with bipolar disorder. And when I got diagnosed, first of all, that was a word you did not say. You did not talk about things like trauma. I don't even think those things. And I'm so
Yeah, I just got
proud,
changed.
pleased to hear tonight on
What
the
time is your meeting?
number of times that somebody said the word trauma, because those are things that we have to be talking about. Because as we are moving through life and we're trying to heal, if we're not talking about it in any space, we're not dealing with it. And those traumas are being passed down, they're repeating and over and over and over again. So I am incredibly pleased just to hear so many people being vulnerable, being transparent. Nay, you sharing so much, everybody that's on this call, because it's easy to go in front of a group of people and talk about cancer because everybody knows somebody with cancer. And the minute you go, oh, but we have depression or we have bipolar or we have schizophrenia or whatever those mental unwellness words are, people get very nervous. But that's part of our healing. And that's part of our learning to grow for ourselves. And again, within our communities, because when we are not speaking about it, there is absolutely no way we can heal. I happen to believe that so much of my traumas life resulted in a cancer. There was no other reason why I should have had cancer. I was a perfectly healthy person, no genetic background, but our unwellness, our dis-ease shows up in our bodies one way or another. And whether it's we're talking about them or we're learning about it or we're just being mindful, all of those things will help us be healthier. All of those things will help us deal with our setbacks and strengthen our minds along with our bodies. Because I do believe that our bodies actually do what we tell it to do. So what we're thinking, we are telling our body to do something just with our thoughts. And when we learn how to control those things, we're actually learning how to have better outcomes, not just in our personal lives, not just in our work lives, but in our bodies overall. So I just want to thank everybody for everything that they've shared tonight.
I like what you shared. I want to say, with trauma, and for myself, it was really, really important. The incident that was traumatic, it was simply that. That was just an incident. The trauma was going from victim to survivor and dealing with the process after. Like, that incident happened and it was bad, but the trauma was like the repeated exposure or the, lack of support or those were the traumatic incidents for me that were like, that thing that you guys are telling me was trauma wasn't even the bad part. Like, I got through that. Like, I went through so much, throughout my life growing up with the medical things, is that I literally, physical pain is very rare for me. And it was the emotional and the mental pain that was like killing me. And I had to learn how to, like, I could be in so much physical pain, and the doctors would look at me and just be like, "You don't need pain medicine." I felt the emotional pain and the mental pain. Like, they couldn't take that away. And, the physical pain wasn't even bothering me. I learned to live with it. I learned to, every day wake up being in that pain. And it was like having to learn that those moments, I couldn't let them define who I was or who I was going to become.
I gotta say that something that you said, that's the thing. It's going from that victim mentality to that identification of that, right? Becoming aware and getting in that consciousness of, okay, I can't keep playing victim no more. Like, I am a survivor. I have to come out on the other side and falling into that identity. And mind you, part of that process, people don't realize you're literally changing your identity, right? So you go through a grieving process of losing the old you as you convert to the new you, and that's strong. And that's why I said mindset is so powerful, because guys, you're gonna have to talk to you differently depending on how you feel that day. Like, sometimes you need to yell at yourself. Sometimes you need to love yourself. Sometimes you better say, get up, and that's it. Get up. There's no other option, because sometimes you don't want to do it, right? And you gotta know that you're doing it for your benefit. So depending on how you feel, motivate yourself accordingly. It's super important to see that difference and stay on that mindset and start recognizing it, right? Because awareness is key to anything. When you start recognizing the little things that are throwing you back to victim mentality, I'll be like, I know what's happening here. Nope. Become aware. Make sure you recognize it. Hold yourself accountable for it and change the decision, because one decision, one little thing that you change in your life will change the whole trajectory, right? It doesn't matter how little that turn is. It's not going straight no more. It's turning. And it doesn't matter how little that turn is. It's
That
going
ripple.
to change your life. That's all it is. You get it, right?
Danisha, thank you, so. Thank you, Tiana.
Yes. I would love to add to the conversation by saying, I definitely agree with that little change, little habits, and just doing one small thing every single day to change the whole trajectory of your life. I am a testament to that. And again, I'm always gonna say be graceful with yourself in every version of you, right? Because you're always ever changing. And there's things that change on the most minuscule level and even on the most macro level, and you have to enjoy and embrace every version of that, because that brings understanding, right? You can't appreciate the sun without understanding that night is going to come, and we also have a moon. You don't appreciate the sunshine if you've never experienced the rain, and certain things, and why that with yourself, you know? So just appreciating that you're going to have different versions of yourself. And yes, you are going to grieve those different versions of yourself at every new level that you reach. But it's important that you take the time to notice that. That's where the awareness comes in, right? You being aware of how something is making you feel. And you don't really have the time to be aware with everyday life often. That's why you have to speak to yourself and you have to sit here and say, hey, yeah, I have to take a pause. This song is for me. That's when you have to be authentic with you and your healing, because we're all healing, because we're always dealing with different versions of ourselves, who we used to be and who people think that we used to be as well too, right? And
Right.
and grieving that, because sometimes when you're dealing with the different version of yourself, you're getting out of who you used to be. Sometimes the other people who were used to that version of you won't let that
True.
go, right? And that's why environment is important. That's why environment is very important. That's why meditating is very important. That's why taking the time to yourself and having space is very important, so that you can be aware of your feelings and your level and your version of yourself that you're at, and what is going to be healing and helping to you at that point in time. Because sometimes the things that was healing and helping to us before may not be healing and helping to us now. And again, I can attest for that because I was dealing with a lot of grief, so much so that I didn't have the time to pause. And nobody would let me take that pause, right? Because everyone was used to me being a socialite. I was always the life of the party. I was always the person that showed up. But with my careers changing, I had to turn into a socialite for my career. And with me having to do that for work, it became very draining to do both in social life, especially when you had multiple deaths back to back. And also coming from a time where you dealt with health problems because you've been so busy. You haven't had the time to stop, right? The only thing that stops you is when God says, hey, you need to stop. You know, when something so traumatic or dramatic happens, that it forces you to have to take that pause, that it forces you to have to look inside of yourself, right? And some people spoke about it where sometimes even if you are surrounded by others, you may feel very alone, right?
Sure.
And I went through that point in time and all I had was God. That was the
Mm.
only person that I could call on. That is the only thing that made me feel whole. That was the only thing that made me know I wasn't alone, right? Because it was a feeling. And no matter how many people I was surrounded by, I didn't have the same feeling that I had when I prayed. I didn't have the same feeling I had when I called on God, when I called on, you know, my higher self. And again, I had to take that pause because I had to realize I'm transitioning, right? I have to do this in my social life, but now I have to do this for my career. And I associated the losing everyone that I loved around me and not having the time for them with being social, right? Because during those times, all I was doing was hanging out. All I was doing was going to everything for everyone and showing up for everybody. But you know what I forgot? I forgot to show up for me.
Mm.
And that affected me more than I thought it would. So I had to take a time to recalibrate because I had changed and I had to learn to not blame myself for not being there in the ways that I wanted to be there for me, for not being
Mm.
there in the ways that I wanted to be there for the ones that I loved the most, you know? Because I was there for my job when they needed me. I was there for my friends. I was there for anything else but the people who needed me the most. And that hurt a lot. And I
Mm.
associated that with being social, you know? And I had to take a time to just dial back and not be so social because it was a PTSD for me in a way, right? I felt like
Mm.
if
Yeah.
I go and I hang out with a person, if I go and I do this, something's going to
Mm.
happen. I'm going to lose somebody. I could have been there to do this for them. I don't know. And it made me change my life in so many ways, you know. I am grateful that I had the time to take that pause because some of us don't get that chance. And some of us don't have the awareness or the discipline to sit down without it being something so serious sometimes.
Mm.
So I would say like I definitely want people to understand, be graceful with yourself and always take the time to pause because sometimes you're transitioning and you don't even notice, right?
Mm.
Sometimes
That's right.
we give the energy, we're there for everything and everybody but ourselves. And sometimes we think that we're the only ones going through it, but we're not. Sometimes there's somebody somewhere else, you know? And there's a saying that somebody says where it's like we're all alone in this together, meaning that somewhere else, somebody is experiencing the same thing that you're experiencing in another part of the
Mm-hmm.
world or even a few feet away. And even us being here in this chat room is proof of that, you know? But take the time to sit down and recognize when you're transitioning. Be authentic to you. Be graceful with you. Be kind to you and be mindful of yourself. And that comes through awareness. You know, that comes through having experiences or talks with other people who do have the courage to share what they went through, because sometimes you don't even know that you're going through it yourself because you've been so busy you didn't take the time to sit down.
Wow.
I
Oh, power for
would
sure. Yeah.
I would
Hmm.
really speak
Hmm.
about this that I met at my job. She trained me and she became one of my closest friends. She actually told me her story. She wasn't from this country at all. She's halfway across the world and she came here by herself, all on her own. And her mother had cancer. Her brother was there by himself. And to see her do what she did and to learn from her was such an experience, because after hearing everything that she had went through and seeing what she took from that and actually how she applied it real time, and the people that came in, and how it is that you don't just build relationships with people, you build genuine relationships with people.
True.
And
True.
what you do is
Mm.
you really want to get to know a person, and not just know a person, but to know what is it that's motivating them. What is it that motivates a person? Because when she told me what motivated her, that changed everything for me. Because I realized we're not so different. Even if you're halfway across the world, there's a lot of things that we do have similar to each other. And seeing her and being beside her while she was training me, she told me that no matter who's coming into this room, no matter who's coming into this, the important part about it is that you get to know a person. Nobody cares about how much you know until they know how much you care. And that is very important.
Mm.
And you need to know how much you care for yourself. So it's important for you to have a routine of not just you enjoying what you do, but enjoying yourself so that others around you can enjoy you enjoying yourself.
Wow.
So it doesn't take away from you,
Mm.
but it adds to you. And that's what she taught me.
Wow. That is truly amazing. That is truly amazing. You
Wow.
know, in life, sometimes we gotta strip ourselves. We gotta strip ourselves of those self limiting beliefs. You know, looking at nature at this point in time in the United States, looking at nature, it helps us
Yeah.
to understand more about ourselves. Sometimes we really gotta strip away all of those things in our lives and be vulnerable so that we can bounce back. And in the event of bouncing back, there are so many things that we need to bounce back, because when we look at nature, right, it goes through that period. But you know what, the rain is gonna come, it's gonna water that tree, and then when comes spring, you're gonna see those leaves gonna start to push out. That is like our lives. We're gonna go through stuff, and when we are going through this period of stuff, we gotta learn to strip away, look at our lives and see the things that is not serving us, and
Mm.
to strip away those things, that we can able to, when we are bouncing back, we can able to flourish, we can able to grow. Because when we are going through, we learn so much when we are going through stuff. And I want to touch on gratitude. You know, people who are in your life, who are supporting you, you need to be grateful for them. Show gratitude to those individuals, because when we're going through stuff and the people that we have around us, it is super important. And when we bounce back, don't forget the people who supported you in those times when you was on your lowest of low. Do not forget those people. Show gratitude in those moments. This week I received a voicemail from a girl. I have known this girl for 9 years, and she was going through a period of time in her life. And every time she reached out to me, I always have a good word for her, and I never know that this touched her so much. When she sent the voice note to me this week, it touched me because we never know the depth of someone's situation. We don't know the depth of someone's situation. They might be telling and explaining to us, but remember, they are living in that situation, and the kind words that you give to that person is hope. They're holding on to those kind words because of hope, and we got to watch what we say to people because we don't know what people are going through in moments. People show up in our lives for different reasons. And when people show up in our lives, they may be acting in a certain way, but we don't know what that person is going through. We always have to look for the unspoken word because that person is going through something in their life, and we need to be there for that individual. We need to show them, what? We are here for you. And whatever you're going through, I am here for you, and I'm here genuinely for you. I just want to play this voice note that you guys can hear. For 9 years, I did not know I made such an impact on this girl life. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Thank you for
Yeah,
all
we
your
can hear.
love and support over the years that we have known each other. I've known you for almost 9 years or maybe 10 years. And during these years, you have been nothing but an inspiration to me. You inspire me so much you don't know. And all you keep saying to me, Shonda, you worry too much. You need to stop worrying. You need to stop worrying. You need to stop worrying. And I could see why you used to tell me, stop worrying, everything will be all right, everything will be fine. And indeed, everything is fine, right? And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for all your unwavering love and support during those years. And I just would like to say thanks once more for all that you would have done for us. You awakened my spirituality, and oh my God, like I just can't find words for you this point in time, Karen. I must say thank you once again. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you tons, Karen.
That really touched me because I did not know the impact that I was really making on this girl life. So whoever reach out to you, give them that support that they need. Kind words, be that listening ears, and her journey. One of her daughters now is a lawyer. One of her son is going to become a pilot. And it's all because of just reaching out to get the support that she needed when she needed that support. Because as a mother, when you're going through certain things and you have children, you can cave in. You can cave if you don't have a strong support system. Yes.
But that is who you are. your love and your kindness and your tenderness, and because people never forget how you make them feel. I think it's Maya Angelou have that quote that people never forget how you make them feel. And I like how you spoke about moments when someone come to you.
Yeah.
They need you to just sometimes you don't have to do anything, just
To listen.
listen. And as we learn in our school, as we graduate from IAN, um, we were always told listen with generosity.
Yes.
Listen with generosity. Just facilitate that space with that quietness and just listen. Because sometimes people just just want you to, they want you to notice and listen.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Facilitate that moment so they can be heard. So what you have done for Charnel, it's truly amazing. And there's so many people who we have facilitate space for and give them that time and listen with generosity, giving that level of kind words to them. When sometimes they don't know what to do.
Yes. Yes.
And just you
Yes.
just tell them and remind them that what you might be going through in the moment is there's a quote that says, it's not here to stay. It will pass. And so tonight, everyone who is watching, who's gonna be catching us on the replay, we just want to encourage you. Reach for that level of gratitude. Return gratitude to others who held you up in moments that you could not even hold yourself. People who believe in you when you weren't even believing in yourself. And just lit a light of hope and optimism in you. Remember them. Remember them. And believe in yourself as well. Because you are special. You are amazing. And get to the level of worthiness because you deserve the best. You deserve the best. So you want to just encourage you. Keep hope alive. There is always endless possibilities. And sometimes we're afraid to take that leap, to turn the page. Because sometimes we're not sure what that next is. But as we spoke about, faith, anchoring in whatever we believe in. If you have the community, that's all good. Reach out to a friend that trusted. And group what we have created here tonight and what we gather here tonight and our share it tonight is so profound. Because sometimes women back in the past, we always got to be strong, the tough one. But it's nice that we can come to space and be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. It's okay. Because we don't always have to be the strong one to showing up. We all are human and we can get vulnerable and we can share so that we can go through whatever it is we're going through in that moment. Because there's other people, other friends, other sisters are there to love on us and pour on us and say, well, we got you. We're here to support you. It's okay. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. I'm all about support. I'm all about encouraging others and advocating for each other. And I just want to say one more thing with the comeback. Like the comeback is real. We decide what that is, right? We decide if
true.
we allow something to defeat us, or we decide if we come out on the other side of it. We're coming out on the other side on beast mode if you have to. That's how we doing it. But just remember that, like, we come back because I had to, and use your pain as, put your pain to purpose. At the end of the day, like I said, all our pains can help somebody else out. I know that I'm not going to say thank God that I went through all the trauma I did, but because of the things that were normal once upon a time, like you guys all shared, those traumas have helped me help kids and women. Those traumas now have me doing wellness retreats where I can help people get over their traumas, get over what their obstacles are. So use that to your advantage. Like I said, 6 years, guys, it took me to walk again. But guess what? I can jump, I can run, we'll go. I'm going, right? There's nothing that's going to stop you if you don't allow it to. So just remember that mindset is beautiful. Just keep it going. And the comeback is real. So don't allow anything to defeat you. And we're here for you. There's community. Reach out, reach out, reach out. That's it.
How can someone find you if they're trying to reach out to you?
The easiest way that I can say something to remember is Linktree/Natural Health Hub. That's the easiest way, guys. Fill out a form, DM me, Facebook, IG. It's Natural Health Hub, guys, all across the boards.
Michelle?
Yes.
Give us those words.
Give us those words of wisdom.
What are we closing with? Is it what you want our final thought? It would be one thing that I had to learn is when I am needing to reach out, to just respect that who I'm reaching out to might not be in the place where they can give me what I need in that moment.
True.
And it's important to remember that, like, don't just pick up the phone and the moment they answer, start unloading. Like, have enough respect. Like, ask them if they are in the mindset, because you got to remember that what you're about to start projecting, somebody is about to take that on. So if you hit somebody where they really do care about you, but you just got that wrong moment, it could really put you in a setback thinking something ain't right when really it was just the wrong moment. So if I could leave anybody with anything, it would be just like, know that you are valid and that your emotions are important, but make sure that you respect how you're projecting it to others as well. So,
Yvonne?
Keep going. I don't know. I mean, I'm in a situation right now where, like, the outcome of it, I don't know what it's going to be, but the outcome of it dictates my life. But I'm also in a position right now where every single day for 20 months, I've woke up trapped where traumas happened that changed who I was, So it's like, I don't want to be where I'm at, but I don't have nowhere better to go. So what do? So every day I anchor myself in knowing that I'm going through it right now, to know that my child and the future children and they're not going to have to experience what I'm experiencing, because if I fight through it right now, I'm going to make the changes that it can't happen again. And you got to trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, then you're not going to get through it at all. So that's where I'm at. It's just trusting yourself and following that North Star.
Okay.
Crystal?
No, Yvonne first, then Crystal.
Okay. I will say, for as we come to a close, in bouncing back, it really begins with us. We have to take that time, and I'm speaking from a point of view of myself. Knowing who you are, being kind to you, treating you, taking yourself out when you feel that stress is coming on. You have
I just had that right down here.
Right?
I just had that right down.
Yes. Taking that time. One of the things that I use, to stress free myself, I love to go walking. So sometimes I'll go to Prospect Park. It's gonna take me like a half an hour or an hour. And once I begin to do that, I feel so much better. So we have to deal with us, we the individual. And as you begin to do things to benefit you and to help you, your bouncing back is going to be amazing. In spite of what you've gone through, when you look back, you're going to see it as dust. You're going to see it as ashes. And you're going to say, here I am. I'm ready. And you're just going to keep pushing, keep going again. Yes, the challenge is going to come. New one going to rise, but you have to remember what you have gone through. Not that you're dwelling on it, but you know what? I can do this. I can do this, and I am moving forward. rebuke the distractions. Another thing again, anger, that you have to get it out. We have to get that anger out of the way, because sometimes the anger could just like, and that is a setback in itself, that anger, you know. So you just have to learn how to overcome it, let it go. Yes, things gonna come, people gonna come to test you, to irritate you, whatever. Just know how to deal with it within a peaceful and a kind way, and you just keep going. But the bounce back starts with you. Speaking to yourself, again, as I said, knowing who you are, loving on you, being kind to you.
How can
Crystal,
someone reach you?
Sorry?
How
how
can
can
someone
someone
reach
reach you?
you?
They can reach me through email, through my phone numbers. That's the best way they can contact me. My number, should I give out my number?
Sure.
929-413-4220. My email, telesy27@gmail.com.
Thank you, Yvonne. Crystal?
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
You know, I guess what I want to say is, you know, in order to heal, you have to feel. And as we go through that, sometimes we can get stuck in these emotions and keep us there in this space where we're always replaying that in our head where we're at. So I think what we need to do is also imagine where you want to be. Imagine your higher self. What would you be doing right now? Imagine the abundance that you're experiencing. Know that we have to also come back to God, right? Because sometimes we get out of tune with God and we need to come back to God, and know that we are co-creating with God. And when we're stuck, how can we create something? What can we co-create with God? Because if we are a part of, if we are God, right? If we are with God, right? We are one, right? We are with our higher self. You know, there should be no limitations. There should be no lack, right? That's all what we are playing in our head. So I would say, get ready to experience the new you. Think about what that new you would experience. Get excited about it, because where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? So start getting excited about where you want to be in life, and stop focusing on, hey, I've been through this. Yes, I've worked on this. And I want to say, be thankful for where you came from. Like, thank you for the old self. I thank myself for like experiencing these old things, but now I'm ready to experience my new self. I'm ready to experience the abundance with my new self. So, and experience that new timeline. So if that makes sense, that's what I want to leave us with.
Thank you, Crystal. How can everyone reach you?
Just the same as Soul, because we are, we're business partners. So Linktree/Natural Health Hub, and just on IG too, Natural Health Hub, it's the same thing.
Thank you. We're gonna jump back to Michelle. Michelle, how can they find you? How can they connect with you?
Pretty much everywhere is just Michelle Ramos. And I mean, you can go to Google and type in Barber Beauty 413, and it'll give you many avenues of connections.
Fiona?
Again, I just want to thank everybody for this evening. This was spirit building, perspective building. So I just want to thank everybody for all that they've shared. I think what I would leave everybody with is affirm yourself. Whether things are going the way you want them to go, even if they're not going the way that you want them to go, or your life is not going in the direction that you want it to, continue to find that loving, considerate, kind space that you give to other people for yourself. And really spend time thinking about what you're thinking about. If we're thinking negative things, we cannot possibly have positive outcomes when the inside things that we're consuming and taking in are eating at us. So really about what you're thinking about, and just continue to love on yourselves and other people as well. You can find me at GoGirl1Traveler on Instagram, or my name, Tiona Ducray, on LinkedIn and
Yeah.
Thank you, Tiona. Nay?
Hi everyone. For me, I would say my story is a testament of the power of the person that I am today. I walk in my truth. I learned how to walk in my truth. And with me walking in my truth, it allows me to help other women. And this is my little mini me. He came to join me. Say hello.
Hi.
This is Xavier. But the
Hi,
biggest thing
Xavier.
from my biggest thing from my testimony is my test is definitely what shaped me into the woman, the mother, the friend, the sister, and the mentor that I am today. And I don't let my past define who I am. I just know that it made me. And I fight harder and I fight harder every day to, you know, walk through my battles and be stronger. But like all the women said, you can't let your past have you stuck in a space where you can't evolve. And by me evolving, I created my own uh, beauty line, my own business, my own brand. It's called Jade and Charles Beauty, which is named after two people in my life that was one was my daughter, Jaden, and then Charles was a veteran client that I had. And he was very inspirational to me in his last months of his life. He taught me the meaning of life, love, um, and compassion. He had a story of his own. He spent over 30 years in jail, wrongfully accused, and they let him come home. And I was able to meet him last year in June, and he passed away last December. And one of the things that he will always tell me is to follow my dreams. And he would just push me every time I would go and see him. He'd say, "Oh my gosh, you are dressed so nice. You're put together so neat." He said, "You have a sense of fashion." And one of our last conversations was, "Do you know what I'm gonna name my business?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Jaden Charles." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna name it after me?" And I was like, "Yes." I said, "I'm naming it after, my daughter and you." I was like, God just put that name into my mind right now. Um, so after he passed, I said I really have to put that brand out. And that's how I created Jaden Charles Beauty. Um, and then I came up with my own lipstick line to honor all the women in my life that was very influential to me. So I created Ladies of My Life lipstick, which is vegan and cruelty free, so that everybody can use it and everybody can be fabulous. And they're named after my sisters. They're named after my fiance's grandmother, my daughter, my mother, her twin, um, my niece. And I'm just happy. Everybody can reach me at Nate Smalls at jadencharlesbeauty.com or Instagram, Jaden Charles Beauty or Nate Smalls 228.
Daneane and Danisha?
I would just like to say that I'm very appreciative and I do very much appreciate everybody here that spoke today and being able to hear all of your stories. And I just wanted to end the night off with saying I don't believe that God puts a dream in anybody's heart if he didn't believe that you were supposed to live it. And if you feel like you can't take those actions now because you're a different person or what you look like and what you want to create is different, that's okay. And you can give yourself the grace and in the process of other people around you, whether they do or they don't understand, in the process of you learning you, you can also unteach things that you thought were true before about you. And that looks different for everybody. And during those times of transition, you can always call on God if you're by yourself and you feel like you're by yourself. And if you have a friend or you have any support system around you, it's always important to reach out, even if it's only for meeting a person. And you can reach me at One Shot Made on Instagram, and you can find me at One Shot Made on YouTube, and you can always find me at LinkedIn, Daneane Johnson.
I would like to thank everyone as well for sharing their stories tonight. And I appreciate all of the knowledge from everyone's experience. It's beautiful to see how, although different parts of the world, different ages, and different backgrounds, how we can all come together and share knowledge in a way that can help somebody else heal and just figure out how to bounce back from each other's experience. And I enjoyed this so much. My heart feels so light from having this conversation. Um, and I would like, again, for everyone to just be mindful that where every version of yourself that you reach, it's going to be a different obstacle, but you're never alone. As Daneane said, you can always reach out to God. That was the one thing that helped me first and foremost in my most loneliest and darkest moments, and even a friend or a family member. And if you would like to reach me as well, you can reach us both at One Shot Made. And also, I have a LinkedIn, Danisha Johnson at LinkedIn, and my email, Danisha, Danisha, Johnson 9916 at gmail.com.
Lady J?
Thank you. Wow. What a night.
Oh, what a night.
First, first, we got to give a round of applause to everybody who was in this house tonight. Give yourself a round of applause because this was such a great moment. A moment where we can celebrate and emerge ourselves up in a space that no matter what we go through, what we've been through, or what we continue will go through in the future, we're not gonna let that define who we are. Because whatever our belief system, and we can reach for that place, we can reach our community, we can reach to our friends, we can reach to everyone in this group that we celebrating and sharing space tonight with. And know that showing ourselves grace, love, and compassion is so essential. And knowing who we are, and staying strong, even though sometimes the moments can go low,
Yeah.
and honing in onto that, and leaning into our inner wisdom, and know that when we bounce back, as nature, and we spoke about tripping up the trees, we coming back with something new.
New.
It's new beginning, restoration, reset, reboost. We coming back with something fresh, a fresh start,
New
and we
beginning.
bouncing back with new insight, fresh perspective, a level of clarity, and
Mm-hmm.
we moving into a new trajectory as we continue to journey through life. Don't forget to nourish and nurture yourself. It's so important because this one vessel, this infrastructure, we have to keep it strong so that when we
Yeah.
walk and we step in our power, we can deliver. We can show up with a level of vibration, the level of energy that we can change the room when we enter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Keep loving yourself and remind yourself that you are special and you are amazing and you are unique and you have this special gift that you came with and you're going to share it with the world.
Yes.
every time that you step out. I'm so grateful tonight that we all had a chance to be in this space together and share. Thanks to all the shares. We value your time for being here with us to share this special moment. And we will continue to do part one, part two, part three, and share more topics together because that is how we make a difference. This was just the beginning, part one. Thank you all again.
Yes,
You're
thank
special.
you. You're
Love you
welcome.
all.
My pleasure.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you guys for showing up on enrichment of mind, body, and soul this evening, because you've really enriched this space this evening. We value your time. We value you for showing up, and we value that you deliver. And your delivery will help someone out there. It will help someone to know that they're not alone. It will help them to understand that whatever they're going through, there can be a comeback.
That's right.
It's giving them hope
Mm-hmm.
and helping them to know that they can stand and walk again and be the person that they're aspiring to be. Whatever you're going through, it's a period of rejuvenating.
Mm.
It's a period of helping you to go deep within yourself. It's helping you to understand more about why you are here.
Mm.
Because nothing that we go through in life is by accident.
That's right.
There is a reason and there is a purpose that we are going through what we are going through. And whatever period you're at, surrender.
Mm.
Surrender, surrender.
Mm.
Because when you surrender, there is where the magic happens. Things start to turn around for you. Do not fight. Do not fight. Allow. Allow. Just allow. Do not fight. And just know that you are enough. You're special. You're one of a kind. You are unique. You're beautifully crafted.
That's right.
You're molded into this beautiful individual. And every single day you are evolving. You look at yourself right now. You're not a baby that is crawling anymore.
No.
You have evolved
Wow.
into so many chapters of your life. You keep evolving all the time. And we need to enjoy the evolution, because the evolution is helping us to understand more about ourselves. Each chapter of our lives is helping us to understand who we are. Each chapter that we walk through, we're going to turn the pages and see the beauty about our lives. Just know that you're not alone. You can reach out to any one of us on this panel here this evening, and we will give you that listening ear. We will give you that space that you can talk. So this evening, I hope that you leave this space, be enriched, and you have your tools in your toolkit that you can rely on, that when situations arise in your life, you can always reach to your toolkit and grab the necessary tools that you need for that situation. Just know that you're here for a purpose, and respect that purpose. Respect that purpose. And to the audience on the IG, we thank you so much for taking the time and joining us. On YouTube, we want to thank you so much for subscribing, because we are growing and we all are evolving at the same time. We want to thank all the Facebook viewers for staying up with us this evening, because there is a time change, because certain parts in the world it's like weird hours in the morning. Mm-hmm. And we want to thank you so much for staying up, because you know what? You know this is enrichment for you. It's going to enrich you and it's going to help you on your journey. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments. We really appreciate you. We love you so much. Reach out to each one of us in this panel and have a talk with us. Know that you're not alone. You are not alone. And reach to that higher power. Reach to that higher power. It's always there. It's free of cost. There is no cost attached to that. Reach for the higher power. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in who you are. Don't make nobody tell you otherwise. Believe in yourself.
That's right.
Because you know what? You've got that inner wisdom within your life. We love you.
Self-care.
Exactly. We love you.
That is good.
We love you guys so much. And thanks again for supporting us.
My pleasure. Our pleasure. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.